Hello everyone. The first thing we are going to do today will be setting up the behavior in showing the dot for each of the date item. As I mentioned before, I want to take it as a count for the number of entries or the number of items showing up on this particular date. So why don't we use a variable of count to determine whether we should show it or not. I use this instead of a Boolean value. It's because in the future, we probably can make use of the number of count to show a little bit variation in terms of the styles. Say, for example, darker color for a bigger number of count and lighter for a small number. When it is set to 0, it simply disappears. So I can set the dissect here. And now I need to have a reference to the item view again. Instead of setting it up like this every time, why don't we just get a reference to it? So say I am opening up the date item lib file on the right side. And why don't we just set a reference of the view back to our date item here and call it item view. As we have already set the view to this class, so the IP outlet will show this one as well. By setting this up, first in the update styles, I can simply remove the line here and the line here, and then change it to item view instead. And then for the count, I could say if count is smaller or equal to 0, I use the item view dot layer dot hidden equals to true. Just for safety purpose, even dot layer we have set it to unmapped value in the item view. Before that is initialized, dot layer may be new. So for safety purpose, I still want to add the optional here. And then in other cases, right now, I'm going to just show the dot layer by setting hidden to false. So next time when we update the value of count, it will trigger the dot layer to show or hide the dot layer in this item view. Right now, if I go back to our calendar view, we can implement a method which indeed update the count of each of the date item. First thing probably we could do is by simply setting the count inside the item for represent object within the date session part. Say I'm setting the count to 2 or 3 for all the items. And let's try to run it to make sure the dot layer is showing up. So as you can see, the dot layer shows for every item in here. Now we can start to customize the behavior for showing the dots. Say in terms of our main calendar class, I'm going to have a counts array, which we can allow our target application to provide that array. And by design, I only want to show the dots within current month. So the array of the counts should be the same as the number of days of the current month. So let's set this up. Say I have the counts array here, which is an array of integer, and I'm going to set it to optional here. And then in our date item, instead of hard coding it, I'm going to check first whether the cans array is non-null using if let, and then see whether in month variable is returning as true, meaning the current date is within the current month. So let's say if we try to run it now, cans is probably null, so no value will be showing up. In this case, I'm going to our current sample application and set the cans variable before we show the calendar view in the view hierarchy. And do it like this: calendar view equals to cans. And I'm going to implement another method here to generate the cans, which will return the array of integer like this. In here I can call generate cans. For instance, I can create a variable locally which is an empty array of integer, and then do a for loop for the number of days of the current month. This should be month days, and say I'm going to do a mode 2 if it is equal to 0. That means it's an even number. I'm going to append well, actually I can do it like this. Cans append the value of I mode 2 like this. So the result of this could be either 0 or 1, and it appends to the cans here, and finally I can return the cans. So indeed, month days is an integer, and I need to provide a range here, so I can say it starts from 0 all the way to month days like this. So we set the array of cans to the calendar view, and when calendar view runs, it checks whether the cans is in month, and then we may probably want to just set the cans equal to cans date -1 like this, and then else we just set every can to 0. Let's try to run it. So as you can see, it is working, and it shows the dot on the even number, even date of the month. So that's good. Whenever our target application wants to show the dots, it just provides the correct value of the integer array and set it to our count variable. Of course, the limitation for now is that the count should be set just before the calendar view is shown in the view hierarchy. We can improve this code by refactoring later on, and also write a clear documentation to show the user in how to use this calendar. For now, it's okay.